Doors. Ever since Floor 2 and the content update, new major theories have come out. So before Floor 3, here's every theory that solves Doors lore, starting with the Seek theory. The Seek theory states that Seek, who was the main antagonist in Floor 2, will be the main antagonist of the game moving forward as hinted at by him corrupting Queen Grumble. However, this theory gives solid explanations on how he would do this and why. But before we get into that, let's talk about his creation. We know that Seek, unlike the organic entities, did not evolve and was most likely made by an architect or a celestial like the PNGs. However, if we take a closer look at Seek, we can determine which architect made him and even why. First off, Seek always has a red aura around him when he chases us, which might just seem like an unimportant detail that the devs added to make him more scary, but I digress. Let's think back to when we first encountered him in the hotel. But wait, why is he even in the hotel? I mean, his main body is in the mines. Why would he travel all the way up to the hotel just to kill us unless he had some kind of guidance? See, in every chase we see that red aura surround Seek when he enters the room. We even see it in his boss fight. But if we look closer at his boss fight, we see that the red light coming off of Seek is actually showing where he is attacking, almost like he is being guided in how and where to attack us. And because the color is red and not blue or yellow, we can assume that Seek is being guided by, you guessed it, the Red Architect, or as the community dubbed him, Mischievous Light. This is where the Seek theory comes into play, where it's assumed that Mischievous Light made Seek his avatar, similar to how Guiding Light made us her avatar. And because of this, it would make Mischievous evil and against us, which was already speculated due to the three architects' painting. But not only this, Mischievous is specifically against Guiding and Curious Light by making Seek her avatar, corrupt Queen Grumble at the end of Floor 2, implying that Mischievous is willing to corrupt and destroy the way of the Doors, Limbo just to corrupt us. But why us? What did we do to deserve this? Well, let's think about it. In Doors lore, we are a human whose goal is to get out of the weird limbo that Doors is, to either an afterlife or something like that. And from my guess, because Doors is a weird limbo-like area, the only things that can get in or out are the humans and the celestials, which is exactly why Mischievous wants Seek to corrupt us. If Seek corrupts us, then Mischievous, who we already know is evil and hates the humans, would gain access to wherever Doors leads to. It's speculated that Seek will do this by doing exactly what he did in Floor 2, corrupting the entities. By doing this, he can make a makeshift army that all will try to corrupt us, with Doors ending with a final boss battle between us and Guiding versus Mischievous and Seek's army. But that's it for the Seek theory. So let's get into the next major theory, which you guys seem to like the most, named the human/evolution theory. The human theory is a theory that Doors was accessed by humans before we got to Doors, and that Doors is more like a holding cell for the entities. And the evolution theory is that before the humans got there, the organic entities evolved. To explain, let's look at the very start of Doors. We know that the Celestials made all of Doors as a limbo-like area for the dead humans, and would fill this limbo with entities to make it interesting, and architects to have dominion over Limbo so they wouldn't have to take care of it, which had Guiding, who was made to guide the dead souls, Curious, who was made to protect the subfloors but remain curious, and Mischievous, who was made to cause mischief to make the Limbo interesting. Now, this theory speculates that at first the Celestials only made the PNGs, but then in the mines, Mischievous would cause mischief by sparking evolution in the mines, which most likely started in the currently under development at the time of writing this garden subfloor, which would have the perfect environment for entities to evolve. The entities that would evolve in the mines would be the Grumbles, the Figures, Louie, and the Gloom Bats. And because they evolved in the same place, they would evolve to kill each other, which explains these entities' traits like the Figure's spotlight to attract gloom bats, Louie's intelligence used to trade for food from the humans, and the Grumble's abilities to tunnel through the mines and sneak up on humans or Figures for food. And yes, I said Figures on purpose. This theory believes that the Figure we see in-game is an adolescent or young adult offshoot of the Figures. This is because of number 1, if the organic entities evolved, then they would have to reproduce similar to the Grumbles over time. And number 2, the flesh pile in the castle alludes to the Figure being in Floor 3, which would contradict him being stuck in the mines unless there were more Figures. Now, of course, this could be untrue, and the Figure could have taken an alternate route and just have not evolved. But the theory believes that because of how specific the correlation of the Figure's evolved spotlight, which he uses to hunt the gloom bats and nothing else, there has to be multiple Figures that were in the mines at some point. But because of how the Figure evolved to eat the gloom bats, the Grumbles, who are higher up on the food chain, would evolve to hunt the Figures. This would explain how there's so many Grumbles, because they all would kill off the Figure population, resulting in their population growing. However, because of the flesh pile in the castle, it's speculated that to survive, the figures would flee the mines to safety, with our figure going to the hotel library for the quiet, and to get away from the grumbles, with the rest of the figures going to the castle in floor 3, making the figure, or should I say figures, being incorporated into floor 3 as a main entity, which might have even been hinted at by L-Splash's recent tweets. However, after all of this, something strange would happen in the rooms. Many dimensional portals would open up that weren't made by curious light, which would let the humans out into doors. This is speculated because of the fact that each glowing door takes us to a separate subfloor or separate dimension. So if there are so many, then at least one of them was made by the humans to access doors. Now, before you say this makes no sense, think about it. Somehow, when we go throughout the hotel and mines, we find items that clearly weren't left there by us or any of the entities. In the library, there are books with guiding symbol on them that clearly were not entirely created by guiding. Somehow we know the names of the entities in the main floors, despite us clearly being a dead human who shouldn't know the names prior to coming to doors. And the icing on the cake is the technology in the mines, which is clearly used to keep entities like the Grumbles or maybe even Seek contained and away from the humans. Now you might be asking, where are these humans now? I mean, if they did all of this, they must be hiding somewhere. Well, this theory believes that this is specifically the point in time when Mischievous Light chooses Seek as his avatar. But instead of using Seek to corrupt us because Doors is inescapable in this theory, she would use Seek to kill off all of the living humans in Doors to make sure they stop interfering with everything. This would also be a dark explanation on why Seek has so many eyeballs, as if he did assimilate and corrupt humans. Then it would explain why specifically in his jump scare we see a human eyeball, but the blood is replaced with Seek goo, implying that his eyeballs are real human eyes from the now dead humans. But beyond all of this, this would also explain why Mischievous would hate the humans so much to want to take over all of Doors with Seek. See, in this theory, instead of corrupting us to get out of Doors, Mischievous is taking over all of Doors to make sure no humans can come in it again. But in the process, she is ruining Doors as a limbo, causing the present-day events to happen with guiding light, choosing us to help stop Mischievous Light and progress throughout the Doors to stop his takeover of Doors. However, many people pointed out that there's one small problem with these theories, which is that we respawn, like a lot. And when we do respawn, we can replay each floor with the same events happening over and over again. So this is where the glitch theory comes in. The glitch theory states that Glitch, who is now officially canonized, is actually a glitch, which implies that all of Doors is a simulation. But before we get into that, let's first get into his glitch fragments. We know that when we interact with a glitch fragment, Glitch rushes us and then spawns in one of 3 entities, being glitched versions of Screech, Rush, or Ambush. Now what's interesting about this is that the entities he spawns are glitched, implying that Glitch corrupted them and is now using them against us. Now although this might seem like an obvious simple mechanic, I think it means that Glitch is actually a glitched version of Seek. Let's look at Glitch's model again. It's a black humanoid figure, similar to Seek, with glitch particles on the outside covering his whole body, specifically covering the facial region where Seek's eye would be seen. Now, although this is good evidence, we also see El Goblino's movie line, which states he saw a weird creature that looked like that eyeball guy, which refers to Seek, but purple and weird, which implies that he saw Glitch. Now, why would the devs add the correlation to Seek if Glitch has no relation to him or isn't a variation of him? But if that isn't enough for you, let's look at the glitched entities, specifically Freaky Screechy. Now what's strange about Freaky Screechy is that his model is contorted like the others, but also has the same box particle effects around him. And his Seek goo isn't actually Seek goo, but instead the same purplish black goo that is around Glitch. All of this implies that Glitch, much like Seek, is taking over these entities with his powers. But the final nail in the coffin is that when Glitch runs at the player, he uses the same run cycle as Seek, implying that he is Seek but glitched. Now you might be saying that the devs were just lazy and chose not to change Glitch's model or run animation. Well, the problem with that is the whole content update is themed around Glitch, which implies that they knew what they were doing with Glitch, and he is exactly how he's supposed to be, a glitched version of Seek. Now you might be asking, why is this important? Well, if we look at the implications of Glitch, it might just change everything we thought about Doors until now because of one provable statement. Because Glitch is a glitch, it implies that Doors isn't real. Now, I know this seems obvious because it's a video game, but no. I mean, in the Doors universe, everything happening in Doors, like us progressing through these floors and the entities and everything, isn't real. If you need more proof of this, look at how everything in Doors is constructed. Randomly generated halls, weird PNGs that want to kill us for no reason, a hotel that leads to a mine that leads to a castle, and even pocket dimensions and huge entities that somehow are living in these floors with seemingly no food source. I mean, it makes sense. However, the problem with all of this this is that the glitch theory contradicts the other major theories which all build off of Seek being the main villain, and beyond that contradicts the huge coded statue literally saying limbo in the courtyard. But even though that sounds like the glitch theory can't be right, I actually think that the glitch theory combines all of these theories. Let me explain. Because glitch is a glitch, it implies that Doors is some sort of computer program like the Matrix or like a video game. I think the more likely probability is the Matrix due to the fact that our player does not return to the real world when we die, but the lobby instead. Now you might be asking, how does the limbo sign play into all of this? Well, what if instead of passing through to the afterlife, we are in a kind of limbo where we are stuck in a matrix due to something bad we've done or some twisted experiment with the end of Doors being us breaking out of that matrix. Now this does not only make sense, but also solves many plot holes as well. I mean, if Doors was artificially generated, then it would explain how we see no other players than the ones we choose to go with. It would explain the literal PNGs, which are actual pictures uploaded from a computer. I mean, come on. It would also explain why the entities want to kill us so bad, because if this truly was some weird, sick artificial limbo simulation, then they would be coded to kill us. And beyond all of this, it would explain how we can keep on coming back, how we know the names of some of the entities as implied by Guiding's lines, and even how we can replay floors. Like it's all predestined. It could also explain why there's modern technology in a limbo-like area, and why we can buy stuff beforehand to help out our run. Now you might be asking about the Celestials and the Architects. I mean, if this is a simulation, then why are angelic creatures mentioned? Well, if Doors is a matrix, then the Celestials would just be the developers of the game, and the Architects would be, you guessed it, AI. That's right, I believe that all of the Architects are entirely AI and were made to only do their set purpose to help the player. This would explain how each Architect has specific roles, like Guiding is meant to only help us, Mischievous is meant to kill us, and Curious is meant to learn. That's right. I think that Curious Light is named Curious not because he acts with us differently, but because he is learning from us and sending that information to the developers to improve the matrix of Doors. This would explain why he only interacts with us in the subfloors, which if Doors is a matrix would be like testing rooms for more floors that the Celestials or devs would add. So now we have it all figured out. Glitch implies that Doors is a simulation and everything isn't real. But wait, how did Glitch get glitched in the first place, and why hasn't he been removed in the game? I mean, the glitch fragments appear in the subfloors, and because Curious, the learning AI controls the subfloors, would have noticed Glitch and reported it to the Celestials, having it swiftly removed, then how did Glitch even plant his fragments in the first place? Well, I have a theory that Glitch is technically not a glitch. I mean, think about it, he appears when the game glitches out to help the players as a sort of fail-safe. If Glitch is canon, then that means that this is intentional. Now, what if Glitch's developers originally reused Seek's model and run animations to help players who would find glitched out areas and return them to safety? However, after being around glitches, Glitch would then become glitched, causing him to look like how he does now. Now you might be asking, how did Glitch get smart enough to plant glitch fragments for the player to find and beyond that, corrupt the entities? Well, if we go back to another theory on my channel about Seek, we know that Seek has some sort of weird involvement with Mischievous Light because of his red aura, his immense power, and his modifiers being Mischievous's color instead of his. So what if when the devs copied this version of Seek when he became glitched, he was also infused with Mischievous's AI like our Seek, but instead of being programmed AI, Mischievous's AI would of course glitch out, making Glitch intelligent. This would explain Glitch's existence. I mean, think about it. If a copied Mischievous and Seek glitched and combined to make a new AI Seek named Glitch, then both of their traits would be combined when corrupting a new entity. And because Mischievous is an extremely powerful AI, an even more intelligent glitched Mischievous would be able to corrupt even PNGs. This would also explain why when Glitch infects entities, they are corrupted similar to the Screeches Seek corrupted, but also have a glitched aura around them similar to Seek, making them a combination of the two. This would even explain why Guiding Light doesn't know what we died to when we died to Glitch. If Glitch really is an intelligent glitched AI, then he would be smart enough to mask himself from the other AIs. Now with this, if Glitch is a combination of the most evil entities in Doors with unrestricted intelligence, then he has the probability of being the actual final boss of Doors, or at least a secret ending boss. I mean, think about it. If Doors is a matrix and Mischievous Light and Seek would more than likely be the predetermined final boss, then why wouldn't Glitch, the secret overarching non-predetermined antagonist in doors, take his chance and corrupt every entity after Seek, would have already done it for him at the end of the game. What if that is what he is waiting for in game? What if at the very end of the game, if we do all of the subfloors or secrets glitch becomes the true villain of doors? It would explain why he only interacts with us a small amount too. I mean, think about it. Why would he make us aware of him unless he knew that we weren't going to get out of doors? But that's it for the glitch theory. So, what theory was your guys' favorite theory? Leave it in the comments below and make sure to like and subscribe and watch this video right here.